World of Matchups is back for week number 11. This is week 11, right, Spencer?
Is it? I thought it was 10. I thought I
Week
checked. Hold
10.
on.
Oh man, I'm so
It's
lost.
week 10. It's week
Week
10.
10. We take 2 weeks off. Spencer the Wiz out of the state. Dexter Reed sick with bronchitis. But folks, ball don't stop, and we're back for week 10, bringing you live and direct information on these games. We are going to start breaking down the Buffalo Bills, Super Bowl favorites, who will probably be minus Josh Allen at home, versus Kirk Thuggins and the Minnesota Vikings. I will defer to you, Spencer, and let you go first. Buffalo minus 3.5. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. There is a lot of my thoughts are that there's a lot of pressure on the Bills, regardless of who's playing quarterback to win this game, because Miami is on their tail. Obviously, they've already beaten them this season. They took a, I, I don't know. It's always like anytime you lose to the Jets in my lifetime, it seemed like it's a bad loss. But
Mm,
as of recent, they've really been picking it up. So I don't know if I can really call last week a bad loss. They look like a competent football team. It
mhm.
wasn't embarrassing. It was a close game, and the Jets are winning football games right now. But I think that regardless of who is the quarterback for the Bills, obviously it's a very winnable game. We talked about before the broadcast that Case Keenum is one of the better backups in the league, and it's not like he's not going to have his share of help. On the offensive side with Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs and a decent running attack. And we saw what he did last year with the Browns. There were times when people thought that Baker Mayfield should have stayed on the bench in case Keenum should have been there. So
Mhm.
the fact that they have such a solid backup right now, I think means, that's probably the reason they got him, right? Every quarterback from time to time, you're going to miss games because football is very violent. Now, luckily for the Bills, it doesn't seem serious. In fact, obviously, you could still play on Sunday. I'm going to say probably not. It's probably just one of those things where game plan wise, you don't want to announce it to the last day because game planning against Case Keenum versus Josh Allen are very different things. Not that I think that they would know how to game plan against Case Keenum because he hasn't played for the Bills just quite yet. But obviously, that throws something in there. And for the Vikings, they're rolling along. I think they're on a 5-game winning streak right now, and
6.
a 6-game winning streak. We'll see how they play against one of the better defenses in the NFL. But you have to give credit to the Vikings, first of all. A new head coach, and you could see new head coaches don't always go right. Giving an example in Las Vegas, but he's taken those
Denver.
offensive weapons that they have Denver. Exactly. It's not easy. And he's made them look very competent. And Kirk Cousins is playing pretty decent right now. And they're winning close games. And I think that that's the mark of a good football team. You're going to have close games throughout the season. And obviously, you're going to have close games, in the postseason, which they have very high expectations for. So it's trending up for them. So this kind of comes to a clash, a team that really kind of needs a win right now against the Vikings, and a Vikings team that looks like they want to prove that they're playoff contenders. I'm not exactly sure where I roll on this one. In fact, I don't even know what the line is in this game. I was going to check real quick.
It's 3.5. Vikings are laying at home.
Oh wow, that's a close line. I don't think I would touch this game because I just don't really know where it's going to go. But
Yeah.
for some reason, I have a gut feeling that the Bills are going to win this game and that the Vikings are going to come down to earth just a little bit. Not completely. They're not a bad football team, but I think that a desperate Bills team is going to be able to beat a Vikings team that is kind of riding a high right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. First things first, the Jets are a competent football team. The Jets are a top 10 football team. Robert Saleh has done a fantastic job with this group. I told you during the draft that the Jets won the draft. I just didn't think I'd see it come to fruition so soon. So, them beating a Bills team, that's a huge win for that team. And I think that the Bills were in a little bit of trouble now moving into this week because of the UCL injury that we're seeing that Josh Allen has that could potentially lead to Tommy John surgery. Coach Sean McDermott's been very coy about his status for Sunday, although, non-casual football fans like ourselves know he is not playing. You don't want to risk your future, on trying to get some wins now when these are winnable games. I think you're going to probably not see Josh Allen for a month. He did practice in a limited fashion on Friday, and as soon as the reporters and the cameras came out, he ran into the tunnel, back into the locker room. That's a dangerous injury. Let's go back to I think it was the last pass he threw to Gabe Davis to try to get them back into the game and kick a field goal to potentially, get the Jets off the field. before that pass that he threw, before he rolled out, he was touching that UCL. He was massaging it. The cameras were focusing on it. And I don't think that 70-yard bomb made things better for them. And so they're in a tricky spot. Fast forward to Case Keenum. Everything you said about Case Keenum is true. He's a top 3 backup in this league. I love the Bills here. I really do. If you're scared by the point, but I can't see Buffalo losing 2 games in a row. This is a home game that they're going to be fired up for. It will be cold. I do not trust the Vikings and Kirk Cousins. I just don't. When you win 6 games in a row and they're all one-score games, when you go back and look at some of those games, there's a lot of luck involved in a lot of those games. And when you put Kirk Cousins in big spots, he folds. He's kind of like Andy Dalton 2.0. I think that when you looked at a better defense like the Eagles when he played them on Monday night, it was just pick after pick after pick. He doesn't galvanize me. He's got 13 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. His passer rating is only 84.5. I like Cousins. I just don't like him in this spot. I think you're going to see Sean McDermott run the ball a little bit more this week, try to take some pressure off Case Keenum. And don't forget, he's still got Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. Now he's got Nyheim Hines now. He's got weapons. This is a good team. I can see Von Miller being all over Kirk Cousins in this game. I'm going to take the Bills minus the 3.5. I'm not even going to buy the point. I think they're going to win this game by a touchdown. The one thing you have to worry about is that Bills secondary is in bad shape right now. I'm not sure if Elam's going to play. I know Jordan Poyer is out. Micah Hyde's already on the shelf. They get Tre'Davious White back, but who is he going to really be without a whole lot of game action since that major injury? It's tricky. When it comes down to trickiness in games like this, I take the home team. I still think the Bills are the Bills. I still think they're the Super Bowl favorite. Don't get gassed. That was a tough game that they lost, but I think they'll bounce back. They're too good of a team and too well coached to lose this game if they're going to be taken seriously as contenders. And I think the X factor will be Kirk Cousins to Justin Jefferson. I think that defense, let me tell you, Von Miller has been a huge difference maker for that defense. I'm mad that they didn't just go out and give Von Miller whatever he wanted. The only team that was really willing to do it was the Bills, and now you're seeing why. He's single-handedly ending games versus quarterbacks, and I think you're going to see it here again on Sunday. Bills minus 3.5. Scared money don't make money. Dexter Reed World of Matchups.
Before you jump off, if the Vikings do win this game,
they have to be taken seriously.
How serious would you take him at that point then if the Vikings go ahead and just win this game in Buffalo?
If the Vikings,
are they Super Bowl contenders at that point?
You know what? They'll be 7-1. I don't know. Are they 7-1 now? They're 7-1 right now.
Yeah, they're 7-1 right now.
So they'll be 8-1. They kind of fall into the Eagles category where they're a great team or a very, very good team that's beaten okay teams. This would be a huge win for them. I still don't think I could put them in a Super Bowl category, but I'll put them in the top 5.
Yeah, that's impressive. I agree with you. So I just wanted to get your opinion on that because me and you kind of both agree the Bills are going to win this game. But if the Vikings do win, which is very possible, that would change my opinion too. Thinking about their offensive weapons, I mean, that's the kind of thing that got the Rams a Super Bowl win last year.
It's very possible. I mean, they have weapons, man. T.J. Hawkinson came in and was an immediate force to be reckoned with. We already know about Dalvin Cook. Jay Jettas hasn't really blown up since week 1. You're not seeing a whole lot of gritty. You know what I mean? And so with a secondary that's in shambles, coach may really try to, focus on throwing that ball. And if he gets hot, man, I mean, we haven't seen that Cooper Kupp style game from Justin Jefferson since week 1. And if that starts to happen, they can win this game. But I've seen these games before with Minnesota. They never win these kind of games.
Yeah, this feels like a historical game. Like
this is a historical Minnesota meltdown. Kirk Cousins throws the pick just at the worst time. Pick 6. Buffalo's a good team. They're no slouches. That beating they took to the Jets is going to hold true, that they're going to bounce back. This is it's not my best bet, but if I wasn't making it my best bet, or if I didn't have another team that I really like more than this, it would be my best bet this week. I just don't trust Kirk Cousins. You see the guy on the plane dancing with the chains like they just won the Super Bowl. Guys, fall back. You know what I mean? I liked Washington Redskins, Kirk Cousins, a whole lot more than I like Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins. All this guy does is steal